I just need another one.
What up and welcome to the We Random podcast. If you're familiar with us, you know what we do, folks. If you're new, listen in while my husband and I discuss, debate, and drop jewels on an array of topics from random categories and in life in general. I'm your host, Savannah. With me always is my congenial handyman, my captivating co-host, IzzoOnTheBeat.
Yo. What up, what up?
All right. How was your day?
Man, do we really want to go into that?
I mean, I know how your day was.
Better now.
Oh, yeah. Aw.
Yeah, better now. Yeah. Not a bad day. Just, some news I would have preferred not to get. Yeah, a little intense. Thought I was going to have to hulk up, So, yeah. But it's all good, man. I'm good now.
Well, I want to thank our listeners for their support and sticking with us while we navigate ourselves through this podding journey.
Yeah, man.
We get so busy planning and prepping for the pods. We still have other hats to wear.
Look at you. The pods. And, sometimes we have to remind ourselves what the vision of the pod was supposed to be and get back to that. Yeah.
Because we don't want to be just out here reporting the news. That is not what we want to do.
Nah, not at all, man.
Yeah.
I mean, that part is fine, but,
we want to give them information.
Yeah.
But we still want to do what we came here to do.
Yeah, y'all got to get to know us. Like, other than us joking and stuff.
That's what we're here for.
Yeah, man.
Y'all are here for us. We're about to bring you into our world.
Exactly.
Because no joke, having a 2-year-old, very near 3, a child who has freshly graduated and is entering full adulthood.
Yep.
And then another child who has freshly entered tweendom.
Yes.
It has its own challenges.
Yes.
There's a lot to go into with that just in and of itself. But whether you have kids, you don't have kids, whether you're married or you're not married, you're spiritual, you're not spiritual, we here to get our ish off.
Oh, yeah. Y'all going to learn a lot. Y'all going about us.
Right.
Our
y'all
marriage.
will be able to relate. I am sure about that.
Oh, yeah, man. Yeah, for sure. So y'all got to do is stick in. I said stick in. Damn.
Where is your mind, sir?
It's late. It's almost 11.
Ooh, it's that hour.
Y'all just gotta stay tuned, man. Y'all gonna see all the ish we deal with, all the stuff we go through, all the stuff we do, our day to day. Along with visuals, which we were supposed to already had that set up this week, but a little bit of a delay, but we will have it next week for sure, y'all. So y'all will see our faces.
Live.
Yes.
And doing the dang thing.
Yeah, man, for sure.
Well, anyway, we listen to a lot of podcasts. And in the news recently, one of our favorite podcasters, or at least one of my favorite podcasters, Joe Budden from the Joe Budden podcast, has hit the news for many reasons. The first reason, obviously, was because of his exclusive deal with Spotify coming to an end, and he is taking his podcast somewhere else. Where? Don't know as of yet. He hasn't announced that. He's shopping around, but it does seem like there is some animosity, and I think I can understand when you listen to what he has to say. He wanted more power to do certain things, and he wanted answers for his questions, which I think are completely valid. He mentioned they know exactly how much a music stream is worth, but they cannot give him a dollar amount on what a podcast stream is worth.
Yeah, what you would think would be way more valuable in regards to like how long you're listening to a podcast. Like for instance, our podcast. Say y'all listen to the whole podcast. Y'all been listening to us for over an hour and a half, 2 hours. Like music, you stream that, it's maybe 3:30, 4 minutes long. Tops.
Right.
4 minutes is extremely long nowadays.
And
so,
Joe has been very methodical, he was saying, in what he's doing is he purposely makes his podcast about 3 hours long because he wants to know how much people is listening from beginning to end.
Right.
And everybody is listening from beginning to end.
Mostly, yeah. At least 2 hours, and with
they're always over 2 hours. They're like 2
okay.
hours and 48 minutes on the regular.
Okay.
On the regular, and now he releases 2 podcasts a week, which was in the beginning when we were listening to him, he was only doing 1 a week. So, I mean, it was great to have him more times out of the week. But there is a lot of animosity. He was going in on Spotify. He was kind of just letting the cat out the bag in certain things. And, what happened, Spotify came back and said they offered him a more than generous amount of money. But
right.
Money is not the issue for him, obviously. He said that plenty of times. He'll leave all the money on the table because that's not what he was looking for.
Mm-hmm.
So whatever it is he's negotiating in that contract, they don't either want to give him or think that he's worth that, or they don't want to give up that much power.
He's basically trying to be like the pioneer for the podcast.
He is
podcasters in regards to trying to solidify a baseline of what's the metrics, like how is it being factored in of how much I should get for a listener or this. You guys are setting up the rules, but who's creating the rules? He's trying to ask the questions that, the higher ups, he's trying to get into that type of discussion.
Well, he was basically the first person, right, to get an exclusive with Spotify.
Yeah.
And he went well over what they projected him to, 900%. 900% more than what they projected him to do. And that's a lot. He made them 9 digits.
Yep.
So off of the 9 digits, they're not saying that's just, $1 million? That's over $1 million? 100 million? Like, they're not even putting a number attached to it.
Well, subscribers that they get that are paid subscribers for the service.
Correct.
Not
just that, but there's other extras that they could get that now that they're on this platform, they might as well utilize because they're here for Joe.
Yeah.
Joe brought them how much? So much, in fact, that they could go out and get Michelle Obama exclusive. They could get Joe Rogan exclusive.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He set the tone. He's a pioneer for it, but he's really trying to not. In his case, his defense, he's trying to pretty much verify how do we confirm, like, how is the podcasting industry
valued?
working? Right. How does it work? What's the inner workings of it? Yeah, I have a podcast. Yes, I was able to get this many people. Our value is at this. I feel that my value is this based on the industry that I'm coming from, which is the music industry. So,
well, even based off of what his numbers are or could be, as opposed to what somebody else is pulling. If he was number 1 for 18 months and just recently fell to number 6 or number 7 or whatever they're on,
right,
he's number 1. So you can't say that this dude who came in afterwards, who might be number 8 or number 10, is worth this amount of money from the get-go. How did you factor that?
Yeah.
Tell me how you factored that, because if he's worth this amount and he's got this much power already, that's the dude that called him. That is the dude that called him. The guy that was given the deal after Joe.
Right.
So, I mean, I was listening to Dr. Boyce Watkins. That's his name?
Yeah.
And he was talking about the Charlemagne, Joe Budden sort of kind of beef. What happened when Charlemagne kind of spoke out on it, saying, that just because your perceived value of yourself isn't your actual value. Where Dr. Boyce was saying something to that effect, but it was more so, how do you get them to perceive your value at your same? How does it convert? Yeah. And that's exactly what Joe was trying to say. That's what I've been saying. That's what Joe was fighting for.
He's the pioneer to verify how the inner workings of a podcast works.
Right.
So you can figure out what your value is and how you can...
He's talking about ownership.
How they coming up with the numbers.
Yeah, and he wants ownership. So he wants to be treated as such.
Yeah, because it was a partnership. They came as a partnership. It wasn't it's an exclusive deal with Spotify, but it wasn't a situation where Spotify now owns 50%, 25% or percentage of their podcast. It's just nah, bro.
Oh no, but they got their royalties off of him doing his podcast abroad. They get a portion of his ticket sales, and they was on the phone, like they said, the very next day or after the podcast had aired. Like, they go on tour and do all that. Yeah. After that was done, they had them reaching out to Joe. What's our cut? They want their money.
Yeah, I mean,
they do all of that. They're putting great numbers and everything, but you're giving. It's almost like the position that Joe should have had was given to somebody else. Was given to that other guy.
The unfortunate thing is what I think is going to happen over time, and even though they're trying to give Joe, however much money, and he feels like, he has other things. That's the thing. His show with Spotify wasn't even his highest grossing thing that he was doing, even though that's his most valuable asset. He said that he was making more money based on what they were trying to projected to give him to sign the next deal, that he had other shows, because he does the stuff on Revolt. And he has other
the pull-up stuff.
Yeah, the pull-up and all that, and he's doing great numbers there. So he's like, it just don't add up. And especially when they were trying to, give them watches for compensation.
The Rolex watches as their bonus.
Instead of
giving them the time off.
He even said that we're willing to take the money if y'all don't want to get us watches, because they were asking for some nice watches, but it wasn't outrageously expensive. And
he
it was
went to the used versions of their watches.
It went as low as to the used versions, which is like $30,000.
I think the highest watch was $50,000.
$30,000, $40,000, $50,000. Now you got to imagine they made over 9 figures with the podcast. So they're saying we want to keep everybody happy. So it's like, okay, let's do watches. It's not like they're doing watches for 30, 50, 40 people. They're doing watches for probably
3 of them.
About 3, or 4 of them. 3 to 4 of them.
I don't even think Parks was getting a watch. It was just Rory and Mal.
I think Parks was getting a watch, because Parks he's a part of the show, because he deals with the audio visual aspect.
Yeah, but when they were talking about it, they really only talked about Rory and Mal's watch. They didn't even talk about a watch that Parks was going to get. Mal. I keep saying his name.
I don't know why you say
every other way. I don't know why.
But yeah. So I don't. They had that whole issue with the watches, and then boom, you're like, y'all don't want to get us the watches. Okay, we'll get used watches. Don't want to pay for the used watches. And then he was like, okay, well, how about you just take the money?
What's the budget?
And then we'll give it to our fans. And just give us a certain amount of money. We'll give it to our fans for their support.
It was $50K. They said, what's the amount? What's the allotted amount? And then they said $50K. So how are you going to get any kind of Rolex for $50K for 3 people?
Right. So they switched it up, and then they were like, look, man, all that's not necessary. And, I think the best thing it's not that Joe wasn't, the podcast wasn't doing well before Spotify.
Still doing well. Excellent. That's exactly why they approached him.
So it doesn't mean that his podcast will fall off, but I will say right now, it's very ironic that after he decided that he blasted, everything with Spotify and
put him on Front Street.
Put him on Front Street. And that's another thing, by the way, y'all. Our podcast is on Spotify. It's on iTunes. It's on all these different platforms. But we're free speakers here. So hey, we just telling it and reporting it just like anybody else. We're not saying we got an issue with Spotify or nothing like that.
No.
But we reporting on, what's out there in the news, and this is part of it. So anyway, just had to throw that out there. So where's I at? What was I? What was I just saying? I was saying something about Spotify.
It's ironic.
Oh, yeah, it's ironic that now you got Joe dealing with all this stuff in the media about his relationships right after he blasts Spotify. Like right after that, you have the Tahiri thing popped up, and you have the thing popping up with his ex-wife, ex-fiance, which is his baby mom's now. So
I don't like any of that.
You can go into that if you want to chop it up on it, but that's pretty messy, man.
Well, the allegations being made, it just doesn't make much sense as far as the Tahiri thing. Now,
no, go ahead, babe. Go ahead.
The Tahiri thing we touched on because we was talking about marriage boot camp and how it had showed that her boyfriend at the time, Vado, and choked her, but she had threw 2 Granny Smith apples at that man's head very hard.
And just to clarify who we're talking about, if you guys aren't aware of who Tahiri is, she is
was a video vixen.
Okay, yeah. Was a ex-video vixen, and she was dealing with Joe for like maybe 9-10 years. They were in a relationship back in the day.
Off and on. Yeah.
Off and on, pretty toxic kind of relationship according to the both of them. So Tahiri was on Love and Hip Hop and a few other shows that she appeared with Joe in those shows. And most recently, she was in a show like
Marriage Boot Camp.
You just said, which is Marriage Boot Camp. And so that's a quick...
But she had called Joe to see if Joe wanted to do Marriage Boot Camp with him and Sin before she got on the show. And he was like, no.
That. I didn't even know about that.
Yeah, he put that out there too. He put that out there because the claims were so wild. The night that she actually got her nose broke, it wasn't from him, so he says, because he was with Mal.
Yeah.
And they went together to meet her at the hospital where she was at after it happened, and he was questioning her, who did it? And she was like, he's nobody. And then the witnesses were around there, and the witnesses were telling the cops, and were confirming that it was some dude from Brooklyn because they were in Atlantic City, and he was out cheating on her at the time. So, because they were in a bad place, they were about to break up again. She was doing her, he was doing him. Yeah. That went down. She called him. So he wasn't the one that broke her nose or broke her ribs or whatever the claim was being made. Like, he wasn't even, he was there, but he wasn't the person that did it. He went to her aid, which he has done multiple times.
It seemed pretty interesting, man, because it's like, if you have somebody that was abusive, this is me speculating what I would think. If I had somebody that was abusing me, and especially the way she's reporting it, there's no way I'm going to want to have any kind of dealings or relationship with this person. Regardless if we're in an industry that's similar to each other, I'm going to try to keep myself away from that person at all costs. So it's very ironic how she kept getting into situations in which she was, that she talks to Joe. Apparently, they have conversations. She was on Love and Hip.
Friends.
They got a friendship now, or they've had a friendship even after they, split. And you don't really have too many friendships with people that put hands on you when it was that kind of situation where it wasn't like, it's not good, even if it's mutual and both of y'all doing it to each other. But still, like, it don't make a lot of sense. The way she's reporting it, it seems like he was just battering her, and he's just this sick individual. The timing of it is crazy.
Oh, yeah, because when everything happened, she made these claims last week,
because he spoke on it. He said something about it, and then she decided.
He spoke on after that clip aired, it was I don't know what marriage boot camp comes on.
Yeah,
was
it don't
WeTV
even matter.
or something?
Yeah, WeTV.
Whatever it comes on, when they leaked that clip, they addressed it, and he said he actually addressed this recently because of Tahiri's comments. He didn't want to get into it at the time when he first spoke about it, but she had called him after that happened to her because that's what she does. She calls Joe. Anytime she gets into a situation like that, she calls Joe. That's her confidant. He asked if she was cool. She was okay. Everything was cool.
Right.
So if that's the shoulder you run to and the shoulder you cry on when something like that happens, that don't make any sense to me. It doesn't make none. Having been in a similar situation, I'm not going to call that person. That's not going to be the person that I lean on and cry to.
Right.
For what?
Right.
So she could have said something to him then. He called her after it leaked and everybody in, the U.S. seen it to make sure that she was okay. She wasn't re-triggered. She was cool. She was getting nothing but mad love and support online.
And my bad. By the way, just to clarify, that was past you, not current you. You've not been in any similar situations.
Not recently.
With your boy. Yeah.
No, that's not you.
Nah, okay. I just wonder, we got to clarify for the people that are first tuning in and don't really know us quite yet. Yeah.
Yeah, we wouldn't be together.
Yeah.
But, so anyway, he checked on her again and everything was cool. And then here it is now. This is popping off, and that's about 3 weeks ago, almost a month ago now. And she's saying she told Joe to never contact her again, that he's the reason why she's going through all of this. And she says she didn't want to be friends with him no more, like to just stop contacting her. And he's like, that so far from the truth. But if you know her and people who know her, know that's her personality. They know she's gonna do whatever it is.
She seemed to be fiery. She seemed to have that kind of spunk. Not saying that she's bringing it onto herself. I don't think anybody brings violence on themselves like that. Not on that kind.
You do if you're hitting people.
No, I'm saying if you hitting somebody, but I'm saying I'm talking about just by being fiery. Like just because you got a slick mouth, don't mean that you should get hit by a dude in the mouth or beat up.
No, not
but I
for
mean,
talking.
she
you should be able to say, words.
Excuse me.
Words hurt, but
she
nowhere near the amount of a fist do.
Yeah, man. I just think something about Terry is a little weird. But I have to say that there have been allegations against Joe for years about his relationships, so you can't dismiss that either. You know what I mean?
No. But you can, because he said he went to court for it and it was dismissed because it was proved that she was lying. She didn't have nothing to stand on.
No, I'm saying his relationships overall, like
being toxic or being physically violent.
All of his relationships had a certain level of abuse. Not all of them, but a lot of them.
He, I believe, admitted to his verbal abuse in his toxic mindset, but never the physical. He's always was hella adamant that he never got physical with anybody.
Well, I'm just saying, those are allegations that have been out numerous relationships, numerous times. So that's all I'm saying. I'm not saying that he's guilty of doing it, but I ain't gonna dismiss all the women's claims. Not every last one of them. You get what I'm saying? After a while, it's like, okay, well, maybe we need to kind of address it and see what the deal is. Squash it and just be done with it or whatever. So right now, it's his word against theirs, and it's the amount of allegations he's had over the years that are kind of like, man, it's not
well,
me.
This would be the Tahiri one would be the second one.
No.
Well, third one?
I think third or fourth. Yeah, Esther Baxter, when he was with her back in the day. He had that other girl that he was with, that he was on marriage boot camp with.
But she said he was never physically violent. She said he was verbally abusive.
Well, I'm saying
and
abuse,
mentally abusive.
Abuse, the abusive part. He's got allegations of being abusive. So not just only on the physical aspect, but the mental abuse, and you can attest to mental abuse could be not just as bad, but
far more damaging. But physical abuse does mental abuse on it.
So I'm just saying. With it. So all those claims have been there. I can see where the abuse maybe is just based on how Joe thinks and how he talks sometimes. I can see how it can come off that he may be being abusive because he may be dismissive about certain things. He may be nonchalant about how he approaches stuff. And I don't think he's trying to be that kind of person, but he just has a different way of how he sees things. I could tell by it, because I'm a Virgo, but I could tell how, you know what I mean?
He's a Virgo too.
I could tell how that can maybe get misunderstood, but you can misunderstand that. But still, either way, I think the situation with Tahiri though, she's a firecracker. So I can see how their relationship was the longest out of anybody he's been with, and I can see how she can get all up in your face and put
she
hands
was doing
on
that
you.
on Marriage Boot Camp.
Right, I can tell that easily.
So that's what he said is, they were toxic. She's still toxic. He sought help. He went to therapy to improve on himself because he didn't want to be, the type of individual that he was. Not
right.
just with her, but with, I guess the woman after her or overall in general. Rebranded himself, got himself the mental help that he so desperately needed.
Right.
And improved on that. Met his ex-fiancée, Sin.
Yeah, and I don't want to go too long on that because we'll be on Joe for a while. But situation.
Now there's a clip, a 20-minute clip out on YouTube, which is a phone conversation between her and Joe, which I think is kind of crazy because you can hear that there's more than one person. If you listen to the whole thing like I did, there's more than one person where Sin is. He's obviously on speakerphone. She's on speakerphone. So somebody else is recording the conversation between them. And the only reason why you're going to do that is for some kind of leverage at some point in time.
Yeah. I mean, it looked like
whether it's going to be for the courts or whatever.
Yeah, it's a smear campaign going on. Like, everything is so convenient where that can happen. Sin could have been said it. She could have said it a long time ago.
Absolutely.
When they first broke up and everything hit the fan, she could have been it then. But it's like now, after he just did all the Spotify stuff, he's moving on, all the controversy in the media, here comes this tape.
But you know what? I can even say that I don't
maybe
know
she
her.
ain't even leaked the tape.
I don't even think it was her. That's what I was about to say. I don't even think it was her. Whoever was
it.
in the car with her, whoever was doing, she might not have even known that person was recording it.
Yeah.
At the time. So whoever else did it might have went to wherever they needed to go and probably took it to Spotify or wherever to get some money and to do this to help them because it does make Joe look bad. But, what he's out here trying to do, what he's trying to build, what he is doing not just for himself, but for other podcasters like ourselves, I feel like the community should at least get around him and help him stand up, talk to him, speak up for him in regards to his negotiations. But that's already deaded. So whoever else is talking to him, Apple, Tidal, anywhere else that's doing it, Google, that's trying to get the exclusives. Yeah. I mean, give that man what he honestly deserves.
Right.
Because I don't think it's whatever he's doing is unreasonable. There should be some kind of power moves that can be played on both parts where everybody's a winner.
Yeah, that's a fact, man.
You want to give up a piece of the pie, and Joe got Spotify a large piece of the pie from Apple.
Yeah. Well, he doesn't. The thing about the podcast is they don't advertise. They don't have advertising slots. They could be making dumb money. Or just people having to advertise their stuff, or people having to, call in sponsors, all that. Dude, they could be making stupid money on sponsorships. He
spoke about the advertisements. He wasn't closed. He wasn't opposed to all of them, but he didn't like the ones that they brought to him.
Yeah, he didn't want to taint.
So instead of having an advertising team sit down with him and see what he was willing to do, who he was willing to to promote
Right.
what kind of, promotions he was willing to do. They just brought him about 3 to 6 of them, and after he said nope, he's not interested, they were like, all right, well, we're just not going to do nothing with you then, and they just deaded it. But they do have advertisements and commercials that play over his older podcasts that they have and then teamed with his permission. So, and that's on YouTube. So they're making money off of that.
Oh man. Well, hopefully for the Joe Budden podcast, man, everything, which I don't expect it not to be successful. All this stuff that's going on with the allegations, it gets cleared up, and everybody can either move on or it just becomes cancel culture. And hopefully that doesn't happen, but we'll see. So
I'm not gonna cancel him. I need solid facts.
Yeah,
I need pictures.
Well, that's what I
video
said. You got to get the. But if it comes out and solid facts turn out to be that he did some of these things, then that's what I'm saying. Cancel culture gonna come all through there. That's gonna be a bad look for him.
Cancel culture needs to be canceled.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's not cancel culture is not always good. I'll put it that way. Yeah. Everybody's just like, yo, you can't say anything, and then boom, yo, you're canceled.
You
like,
can't even apologize legitimately for stuff that you've done in the past, and you still get canceled for stuff that you did decades ago. Mm-hmm. That's ridiculous.
I can't, it's stuff I did when I was younger. If you go back and you judge me based on what I did back in the day and not who I am now, it's just like, come on, man. Like, cut it out.
Yeah. But everybody would be canceled.
Yeah. I think it's a different way you can maybe approach sometimes those conversations, though. Like, I had this conversation with you all the time. Like, what I look for in the media is I look for, like, raw, like, kind of, like, unedited, unscripted emotion.
Not today.
Yeah. Exactly. I look for that type of emotion because that's something I can relate to. That's something I can tell a person is just they're being themselves. They're not being coached how they're just, hey, this is my emotions. This is what I'm dealing with at the moment.
Yeah. Like that dude that was walking to McDonald's.
Yo, that's what I look for. I ain't looking for all this scripted crap that you seeing out here, man. Like
the crisis actors.
Hell nah. That's what you get though. The media is putting that out, man. That's what you get. You getting all that, and that's not the real. You know what I mean? It's just too phony for me. So, you said the crisis actors.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Don't you think at this point it's kind of crazy though? Like, what happens when you take a step back and you look at it? Because this isn't the first time that this has happened, where somebody's contract is ended, and negotiations aren't going well, and then slander starts. Because if you look at Anthony Davis, that happened with him with
but it's what was and it's just like sometimes the explanation for those things are like so politically correct. It's so PC, and it's just like sometimes you can dead it. I feel like you can just dead situations right there with raw, unscripted emotions. Sometimes you can maybe make it worse. You know what I'm saying?
The thing is like, sorry, go ahead.
No, I'm saying like, if somebody was saying, okay, when in 2005, you made this comment on Twitter, and this was this and this was that. Then now the cameras are on you, turn, all right, what you got to say about it? Yeah, I said that shit. Yeah, and unfortunately,
I was in a mood that day.
Unfortunately, I had a bad day.
I didn't have no lunch.
It's ain't about me trying to make no excuses, but it's just the truth.
My sock was wet.
I had a bad day. This happened, that happened, led up to this, or might have had a death in the family, whatever. And I was just feeling that kind of way. Now, looking back at it, I can absolutely say that was the worst thing for me to do. I've grown from that, and that's that. Next question. I mean, well, see, straight up, like,
that is almost how Anthony Davis handled it, though. Good old AD in the unibrow, bro.
Yo, man,
I mean, he was basically like, he called them out. He was like, y'all ain't never heard anything negative come out about me, but the minute my contract is being negotiated, you want to make me seem like I'm a difficult player and I'm uncoachable and I don't get along with my teammates. But so you want the offers to go down and to stop because you know my value and you want me to be stuck at what you're offering me.
Yeah, right.
So it's like, it's a tactic. And it's one of those things where I'm kind of like, this is what the upper echelon, the people in power do, right? They know that there is a certain level of people who own stuff, people who have power, people who don't, people who are trying to get to their level but can never get to their level because there's a glass ceiling. Yeah. And then there's people who will just do anything for a quick bit of change. That's like, so 50,000 is like pocket change to some of these dudes. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I can offer this woman 50 grand right now to come up here and say something bad about this person, to make a false allegation. Don't worry, we got a lawyer for you. Of course. Like, how are you going to afford this dude? Like, nobody asked those types of questions. Yeah. And this guy is ruined. This person is ruined. Yeah, but we still have the upper hand. So like you said, the smear campaigns start, and it doesn't happen just with this time. I'm saying, if you look at it overall, almost any time a man of color or a woman of color starts to get to a certain point, the smear campaigns start. Certain things start to hit the light. Certain stuff pops up. Someone goes looking and finds a tweet from 2005. It's 2020. Like, why is somebody looking at that? You're paying somebody to go through all of their stuff and find something. Yeah. You're literally sending somebody out to go and do that. Like, nobody stumbles across this.
It don't matter because
nobody holds on to that type of stuff.
Yeah, that's what they use to fuel talks. You know, nobody's wanting to talk about positivity. Everybody just wants to talk about the negative side of things. That's what's selling. So that's what they put out. And the unfortunate thing is, even though it's a lot of people that are media trained, they get disconnected from the average Joe when they're having that conversation. And that's what I think gets them in trouble. Is because your media, the media is portraying you one way, but it is up to you to convey to the people that are watching, this is not me. It's not for you to be media trained and start talking to the media. You need to talk to the people. And that's the point that I'm talking about. Don't talk to the media because they're gonna have their own. They're going to have their own field day with it.
Talk to the viewers.
But you need to talk to the people that's out there and have them and convince them that, hey, look, you know, this is the case. Like AD, hey, you want to say all this stuff about me? Hey, you know, you can have those, you know, those feelings, but all those players in that locker room say otherwise. Those are people that actually, at the end of the day.
But that was a great thing, too, because they came out and they co-signed him. They were like, nah.
Yeah, nah, fam. Like that.
He's super humble. He's never been a diva. He ain't playing, not because he don't want to play, but because they ain't playing him. So you can't even spin it like he don't want to play. They benched him. They benched him.
Yep. And that goes,
like that was so foul.
Man, that goes in on a lot of other players. I think you could talk about Damian Lillard, issue with him, and Skip Bayless lately. Skip Bayless is being all extra on him and, you know, ridiculing him about not being a great player or a superstar. He's not even on that level. And Charles Barkley coming to Dame's defense. So
Skip be a troll sometimes, yo.
Heck yeah,
Skip be trolling.
Yeah, he be trolling for sure. Especially when he be talking about LeBron, he be trolling.
Till he gets them on that platform and he talks to them and he be like, I do it on purpose. I do it to challenge you. I do it to make you better. Because now you want to go out there and prove me wrong.
Yeah, prove me wrong. Exactly. Yeah, Skip about 80 years old, man. He sit his butt down.
He's
he
strong.
Shape,
he is
though.
strong.
He in
80,
excellent shape, man. He in excellent
strong
shape, though.
80.
I give him that. Yeah, yeah, he's in great shape.
Yoked.
He's in excellent shape. But anyway, man, so, yeah, I think part of the smear campaign stuff that's going on with Joe, I think Joe will be able to, he's got media training, but he's also connected where he can talk to the people. So I think he'll be able to handle
Joe
it.
keeps it all the way 100,
I think he'll
which
be able to handle
love.
it, and he's not going to have any filter with it. So I'm kind of getting ready to get the popcorn ready to see how that pops off. So
I'm praying for him. I really do hope that he lands somewhere, and because like he said, this is just starting, and he's right. There's everybody has a podcast nowadays.
Yeah,
and if you don't, I mean, it's cool. You might get one, you might not. But what he is doing is ultimately for the benefit of people who are doing it right now, will do it in the future, who are trying to reach new levels. Now, if he builds, because he was talking about a platform, if that platform is not available out there, he's interested, just see what happens. I'm like you said, the popcorn is out. I really do believe he'll build a platform that actually is super fair and gets people what they deserve, gets pods and podcasters, what they deserve, and on more of an even playing field.
Yeah, well.
But speaking of building.
Yeah. What?
On that topic.
Oh. Yeah.
Mr. Izzo on the beat built your girl her own tiny office nook in our bedroom, y'all.
Yeah, man.
He's so talented. Man, he's just so talented on so many other levels other than music.
I'm all right, man. I'm all right. I ain't gonna say I'm on that kind of level, but I can figure it out.
Y'all keep an eye out, because I'm about to post these pictures. I'm about to go and stage my little area so y'all can see what he did, because it's flames to me. It's cute. It's super cute. I gave him 2 pictures of basically kind of what I wanted, and he went with it, leaned into it, and basically gave me more than what I wanted. So, I mean, it's a beautiful job. He didn't finish it yesterday. He finished it today. And I am just so enthralled by it.
Oh, yeah. She got her spot to do her thing.
Masterful.
Man. So, she needed that. So, you know what I mean? I'm happy to help.
Are you?
Yeah.
No,
obviously.
keep it funky, because when I bruh.
No, I'm saying, I don't, you see when I go buy it, I instantly do it. So you know
how
that
do you feel about home projects, though? Because
I don't like a lot of projects. I don't want to be doing a whole, sometimes you get on Pinterest and it's over. Y'all be like, put your phone down, fam. I don't even want. Nah. Every time she gets on Pinterest,
I'm on Pinterest all the time.
It starts off with the freaking so. And when I hear that so like that, I'm like, yo, what do you want to do? Well, I was thinking, you think too much. Nah, I'm good. I'm asleep. I gotta go poop.
I'm asleep. I gotta go poop. I gotta run away right now. Oh, there is a cat on the roof. You hate cats. So, how do you feel about me being on Pinterest? How do you feel about Pinterest, first of all?
Hey, actually,
how do you feel about that
you
platform?
Put me on to Pinterest. I'll be real.
Yeah.
I didn't know much about it. I went on there and I was on that joint for probably a couple hours. I was like, oh man, this is dope. This picture is cool. I was looking at stuff for inspiration on houses. What we do a lot of times.
You were looking at fish tanks.
Fish tanks too, but what we do a lot of times, y'all, is we envision our home, like our dream home, or we might want to be, and we watch videos. And then it gets us inspired to envision ourselves in the home. So we do a lot of what is that? What is the
vision boards?
Visualization.
Yeah,
we do a lot of that stuff. Positive affirmations, all that good stuff. So we watch a lot of freaking $1 million home videos and tours, and then we get ideas for what we want our house to be like, and we just literally imagine ourselves walking in there, being in there, and I do that on Pinterest, man. Pinterest is
that's what I do on Pinterest.
man.
But I also look for the current situation stuff.
They got some
and
stuff
Pinterest be fired to help you find
paint ideas,
recipes.
Oh yeah, well yeah. See, you got the food thing, and you know what? I hadn't even got into the food part of it. I literally just got on there for like graphics for website stuff that I was doing, some ideas, and then I used it for the visualization stuff. So Pinterest is cool though. Why you ask that?
I mean, because I feel like you hate Pinterest because of how...
When you get on there, I like it for me. Yo, you hadn't been on nowhere near like you were when we first got into the house. Because when we first got into the house, she had all of these ideas. And so she was on Pinterest all night.
Pinterest gave me so much inspiration.
And
yeah,
every morning,
I was going in on Pinterest. So like, I was like, as soon as I woke up until like 2 a.m., I was hyped.
Yo. Pinterest will get in your pockets, fellas. If you got a home, if you got a home renovation going on, and your wife on Pinterest.
You gotta thank Pinterest because Pinterest also helped us do stuff on a budget.
No, Pinterest is. I'm not saying it's not helpful because I said I've used it. I'm just saying the budget are projects.
But you got. I mean, that's how it works.
Stuff
that is
projects.
how it works. It's gonna be a project if you're gonna save money. You're gonna have to put in the time and the energy if you want to save the money. Otherwise, you're just gonna go out to the store. You go pay full rack rate.
Look, I'm gonna tell y'all
and walk out with it, and you might still have to assemble that bit when you get home.
Any dude. Man, I say even women, because it's women that are carpenters and do work. I am not a carpenter, by the way. But what I'm saying is, if you have projects around the house, and if you had the option to not have projects or to have projects, I want to know what you think. Leave it in the comments. Respond to us on Facebook. Respond to us on our Instagram. We're going to make this question. I want to know, would you prefer a house project or non-project? If you can just get it paid for and you had infinite money, I don't know.
I think money anybody would go that option. Anybody would pay somebody else to do it or just to buy it if that was the case. I won't say that because there's some people who really like working with their hands.
People enjoy working with their hands. So a lot of people, they just want to get it done because sometimes they feel like nobody else is going to do it better than them anyways.
Right.
But for myself, I said it with an S. Yeah, nah, man. If I ask somebody to just go and get it done. But that's kind of been like that even with my music. My music career, doing music, I've always had to pick up the skills, learning how to mix my music, not having the extra money to pay an engineer, all kind of stuff. So I had to learn stuff on my own, you know what I mean? Which is a good skill to learn. I picked up a lot of skills, carpentry skills and all kind of stuff, man. So
all kinds.
Yep. Saved a ton of mugger, too.
You
bunch.
Welcome.
Yeah.
You welcome.
Yeah, we definitely saved a whole heap of money, man. Probably $60,000, $70,000. So that's a lot.
So you do like me on Pinterest then?
Nah. Well, no, that all wasn't because of that. I mean, because of that was the bulk of the house stuff, like the demo stuff, like just to get the house where we could live in it was,
That was from my previous employer and the tips that I picked up there.
Oh, yeah. See, they ain't got nothing to do with Pinterest. But that was great, though. I ain't say you ain't had nothing to do with it. I'm just saying they want Pinterest.
Yeah, I want my credit. Give me my credit.
You get credit for that. She had a crazy deal, if y'all don't know, and you got to do any repairs in the house to your walls, you got damaged sheetrock, any of that, drywall, whatever, you can go literally to
Lowe's or Home
Depot.
Yep.
They have a section almost all the time.
They do have a clearance section.
There's a clearance section there. Even though they'll tell you we don't have a clearance section, there is a clearance section, usually by the drywall, where they have extra sheets that's just kind of sitting there. Those sheets might be slightly damaged.
Yep.
and they're usually damaged on the edges, on the bottoms.
From the forklift.
So depending on what you're doing, if you know what you're doing with sheetrock, that little damage is not gonna mean anything.
You might not even need that whole sheet.
Right, you might only need portions of it. So go in there, instead of paying $10, $12 for a sheet, you can get a sheet for $1. You can even get a sheet for 50 cents.
Yeah, it just depends on the person.
Man,
who's helping
I got like, one time I got about 25 sheets for $1 each. Man, you know how much money that would cost me, man. So I was like, the bulk of the savings in this house was the sheetrock. Outside of the paying contractors to get the stuff in, I'm talking about the materials. The bulk of the saving was the sheetrock. Oh man,
you welcome.
Yeah, save hundreds and hundreds of dollars, if
thousands,
if not thousands, because we didn't have that much sheetrock, but probably might have saved about $1,000.
Well, me telling you that they had clearance sections, you just had to go ask where their damaged stuff was in every department. You saved thousands because you got doors that just needed a little bit of work, maybe to be re-glued or whatever, and you got them doors. Yeah. Which would have been $80 for
I got like
$20.
Doors. I got like 4 doors, and each door I got was like $20. Yeah. I got one door for like $8 with the frame. Like I ain't gonna lie, man. We're saving some money, man. Like real talk. It was great though. I think that was the Most High too, working with us on
Absolutely.
that one. So yeah. But anyways,
shout out to the Most High.
Shout out. Yeah, no doubt, always. So what was we talking about?
We were talking about Pinterest and the project. So you like me being on Pinterest?
Well, yeah, Pinterest is cool,
so
man.
You don't like me on Pinterest.
But not when you get on one. When you get on project mode, because the projects is usually going to end up falling in my lap. Like, hey, I was thinking
I always tell
do.
you we, and I said like I don't mind doing it. You just might have to help me, show me, and like you showed me how to use. I don't know what that saw is outside. What it's called? What is it? The table saw.
Oh yeah.
You showed me how to use the table saw, so that's cool. I know how to cut stuff, but like when it comes to your drill and not that a drill is hard to use. I'm not saying a drill is hard to use. Shut up. Not saying that a drill is hard to use, but when it comes to like, I'm gonna tell y'all our house foundation, because our house is lifted or elevated or it's on piers. Our house is on piers. So there's portions of the house that's higher than the other because of course we've had water damage and flooding from hurricanes and stuff that's come through. We haven't gotten it lifted and leveled that. So some of our walls are a little bit crooked. So when it comes to the level, it might be... His house
is 100 years old.
Oh, yeah.
It's an old house, man.
Great-grandparents' house. Yeah. Shout out to my great-grandparents.
But they definitely... they built it great, though. I mean, it was solid wood. I mean,
solid house.
Yeah, the house is solid for sure.
But anyway, so it could look level with the level. Like the level might say it's straight. But when you step back and look, it's going to be crooked because there's a little bit of a dip on one side. Yeah. So that's why I be saying, like, I need some help. I need some guidance. I need assistance. But you just end up taking over and doing it, which I very much appreciate.
Hey, man, look, I'm
just letting you know, I've always told you I will help or I will do it. I never leave it just to you. And I always ask if you need help.
It's hard to do that with Mighty Kai running around here. Our soon-to-be 3-year-old. Somebody's got to watch him because he can get into some stuff.
He likes to build, y'all. He loves to be in the mix watching, but he just recently, within the last few months, is terrified of power tools. Used to love the power tools, watching them, listening to them. Used to run towards them when he heard his dad using them. So he always had to make sure that he was outside and the, Mighty Kai couldn't get out.
Yeah.
But as of late, this boy turned into a sissy. He runs far and fast when he hears them power tools going on. So, yeah, but I just want you to know that and to remember that I always ask you if you need help.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, you do.
Yep.
I just know, a lot of times it's just gonna make it go slower, and I be trying to get it
Oh,
done.
thanks. Appreciate that.
Yeah.
Sometimes I wish other things would go slower too.
But like what? You got jokes. Don't try to put me on Front Street. You know how I get down. Stop the lies.
Next topic. So
She about to get
another.
herself in trouble, y'all.
I'll be paying later. Another podcast couple that we watch that's not really a couple but a duo, Abba and Preach.
Oh yeah. What about what they do?
That's when we just watched it before we came in.
Oh, you want to talk about that?
Man, yes.
What the thing about the
about
the
women
and
the
bosses?
question that, what's her name? I don't know. The girl from Insecure, the lady, the narcissist chick.
Oh yeah. She said basically that
She
women
posed the question: do women make better bosses?
She posed the question, but then clarified it by saying yes. She
says
went straight into
She says
saying
she
that women
thinks
are
so.
better bosses.
She says she thinks so, but it was somebody who wrote into her, I guess, or somebody who said something, and she was just that she posed the question to the rest of the cast of The Real, which goodness, I could not watch that show because it is too much, way too much. Anyway, do you think women make better bosses? The reason they gave for it, the women on The Real gave, was yes, because they're in tune with their emotions, and that makes them better bosses. Also, the fact that women can multitask better than men makes them better bosses. Thoughts?
Yeah.
Mr. Beat?
Mr. Beat. Please don't ever refer to me as Mr. Beat, yo, like that. I've never heard that ever in my life. Mr. Beat? What?
I like to be the first to pop your cherry in certain
Mr.
places. I'll do
Beat.
that.
Okay. I mean, I don't know. I don't think they're not any better than a man. Just it is what it is. I don't think it makes a difference, in my opinion. You know what I mean? Whether it's a female or a male. I mean, I look at the man as a, if you're going to say the females that I had before that were my bosses were a little more empathetic. They were a little more, they dealt with their emotions, so they handled things differently. But that kind of worked to their favor or worked to my favor because they were kind of like real soft with me. So that's cool. The guys, on the other hand, like, nah, bro, you got to be at work. We need you today. You can't show up, we're going to have to let you go. So men were more about the business. I think the women were more about the relationship and the morale. So depends on what you think about what's the better. I think for me, I need to be productive. I want to make money. It was better suited for me to be with the male than it was the female. Female was about morale. It was about what was going on in the office, how people were communicating with each other, and not as much so about the bottom line. That was just the ones I dealt with, but trust and believe, my mama is a boss, and if I work for my mama, ain't no way she ain't gonna keep me in line. She would be on point. Like she hardcore like that. So I know
think it's
a lot
individual
of women.
based. I'm not gonna base it on a gender. I don't think you can say that women are better bosses than men because I've had a really, really, really shitty female boss. I've had really shitty female supervisors. Mm-hmm. I've had outstanding male bosses and I've had outstanding female bosses.
Right.
I worked for my mom. I thought she was a good boss. She didn't treat me any differently than any other employee. She taught me a lot of the stuff that I know, even when it comes to management, and what's important. She took management classes. It was one of the things she had to do before she became a manager, while she was a manager with the company that she was with. And she passed on that knowledge. So anytime I ran into a problem with work and how things were being handled, I went to her, talked to her about it, and she told me a lot about the labor laws and things that could and couldn't be done. So there were men that broke labor laws and women that broke labor laws. There were men that acted funky and women that acted funky. But at the end of the day, it was more based on the individual. Like, I can honestly say the woman boss that I had out here, I don't think she's a very good person at all. She's two-faced. She was definitely two-faced at work. She was two-faced outside of work. She didn't make for a good work environment. People were honestly scared of her and tiptoed around her. And it was a cat and mouse game where you had to, if she didn't have cigarettes and she's trying to quit smoking, you got to watch what you're doing. I've had the male boss that I had in Las Vegas. I mean, he was cool. He was cool people. He had stuff that came down that we didn't like, that we didn't want to deal with. We thought was kind of harsh, but when you look at the size of the corporation that we was working with, it's kind of like, well, I mean, his hands is probably tied too. He's got to make sure that he does what he needs to do so he can keep his job just as much as we need to try and keep ours.
Yeah, I just think it's really there's pros and cons for each, but I can't say that a woman is a better boss than a man. I just don't think that is a true statement.
Yeah, so, I don't think we can.
Yeah, I'm not gonna sit here and say a man's better than a woman either. I'm just gonna say that I just think they both have things about them that's great. I think the strengths that the women bosses have that some of the men, maybe not possess, but you can't even say that that's a strength. Certain things aren't.
I couldn't even say that because some women just aren't nurturing, period. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
and there's some men who are super nurturing.
No,
I
agree.
For me, it's always individual. You can't say that women make better bosses, period, or in general.
Yeah.
I can't even group women together and say overall they're more nurturing or not. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't even go out on a limb and say that. I am a woman. I wouldn't say that. I know what type of boss I would want to be based off of the types of bosses that I've had. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And the type of person that I am and what I would have respected from a boss, that's how I want to treat my employees. I understand that there might be a bottom line, but in order to get the best out of your employees, I feel like you also need to treat them the best. And if you help them understand where you're coming from, then they might want to do more for you and understand that, hey, I mean, I put you in a messed up situation. I called out sick 5 days in a row. I came to work for a day, called out sick another 4 days in a row, came to work. My workload has been on other people. You stressed out, they stressed out. I get it. So I did not agree with that. Nope, not at all.
Yeah.
I felt that was very ignorant to say, actually, to have a whole talk show with that many millions of viewers to say that is abuse of a platform, in my opinion.
Very unreal.
They say some crazy things on that. Like, I mean, the clips that we've seen, flabbergasted.
To basically come off that, the men are more, sexist. Basically, that's how they're coming across. So
I feel like that is probably the most sexist female show ever. They contradict themselves.
But I mean, I'm only just saying, men are only saying these terms because they're being said about them. We don't really give a damn. I don't really care if you feel like you are stronger than me. Prove it. I don't give a shit. I don't care, man. I mean, just saying, like, men aren't really out here like, okay, it's just like a dude telling me I'll whoop your, I'll beat you down. Like, okay, bro, prove it. Like, you can say that all you want. Let's get it.
Right, let's go ahead and drag in all of these pieces of sheetrock all the way from the front of the house to the back of the house. There's about 4 or 5 of them, and then come talk to me. My arm. Nope, sorry. Man. I was holding this piece of sheetrock.
That's the thing, man. Men are not really. Most men are not really on that level. It does get to a point where there are like, what you call it, double standards.
Yeah.
Those things can be where, hey, we need to talk about those things. But for the most part, this whole man and we do better in the workplace, you know what? Hey, I have a daughter. I would love my daughter to be able to have equal opportunity and do whatever she wants to do. So, you know, to sit here and say, "Oh, I wouldn't be fighting for her," yeah, absolutely, I would be. But come on, man, let's get real. No man is really sitting here trying to deliberately, you know, demean a woman and make a woman feel, you know, like they're not as important or they're not as valuable. It's just silly, man. I hate the whole sexist movement. When a man says, "Hey, I open that door for you," I'm more than capable of opening my own door. Yo, that's not what we're here for, man. I'm just trying to be nice. I'm just trying to be courteous. I'll open the door for another man if I saw somebody walking through. I'm just trying to be courteous, man. Like, get the stick out your butt. Like, for real. All that is ridiculous. I can open my own door, thank you. All right. Yep.
But then if I closed it and slammed it on you, you'd feel some kind of way.
I can open my own door. I don't need a
then
man.
Then you'd be asking, where's the chivalry?
Yeah. Right. It's too much of that. It's like, okay, well, is the chivalry dead? It's like, yo, make up your minds. Oh, man. So you just got to be yourself out there, fellas. Do what you know. Don't change up for nobody else, man. Do what you feel.
Don't give that bad advice.
What?
Don't change up for nobody. Some of these people are toxic and need to change. Some people have some things about them that needs to change.
Obviously, I'm speaking from a perspective of a man that's doing those things. I'm not talking about a dude that's out here being a whole square and a buster out here. I'm talking to... yeah. Come on, man. The brothers that I'm talking to are like-minded people.
Weenie.
I'm talking to like-minded people that I'm talking to. So, I ain't talking to nobody that I don't vibe with. So,
better not be vibing with nobody.
Yeah, we talking about men, babe. Men.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
Why would
Let me find out.
Why would I be vibing with another man? Seriously.
So it's getting late.
Yeah, I know.
So, we lightly touched on this literally right before we started recording. And I had to pull it up because I found it a little crazy and I needed a little more information on it. But Dr. Dre's estranged wife, Nicole Young, is seeking $2 million in temporary spousal support. It says she's 50, asking for $1,936,399 in monthly temporary spousal support. She's also seeking $5 million in legal fees. How do you feel about that, sir?
All right, man. I know Dr. Dre got plenty of bread.
He's estimated in the ballpark of $1 billion.
Yeah. Right now, this is just temporary that she's asking for. So this is not probably what she's trying to go for, which is probably half or whatever he's worth. She
signed a prenup, so she ain't gonna get that.
Oh, okay.
This spousal support, this temporary spousal support, I'm sure she's trying to get that because she, that might be what she can get until the court actually
figure it out.
Right.
Well, I mean, when you close to being worth that amount, that don't mean you got that liquid cash, but that just means your net worth. So, that means businesses, investments, all that stuff. You got to pull that stuff out if you want to get that money. So unless he pulling some of that stuff out or he closing these businesses down or whatever he's got, these partnership deals, he is worth maybe close to $1 billion, but my man ain't got $1 billion in the bank, right? So That being said, now on the other hand, now Jeff Bezos probably got $1 billion. $2 billion in the bank.
He's got more than that.
Yeah.
I'm absolutely sure he's got more than that.
I don't know, 20 or 70 something. I don't know. Is he worth like, how much is he worth?
He's worth a couple of hundred.
100 billion?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he got billions and shit. He probably got billion in the backyard.
200 something billion.
Yeah. All right,
don't quote me now.
Well, yeah, he got liquid. He got liquid billions. So
yeah.
So, but yo, man, I think we need to run down what she's asking for, and I gotta pull that up because
because I'm trying to find it, and I think it's crazy because I did see online on Facebook that she's asking for like $20,000 for a phone bill.
All right, here we go. Let's see. All right, boom. Breakdown for spousal support. All right, so this is what she's asking for, y'all. Like she said, it's about $2 million per month. Her laundry and cleaning is $10,000 a month, right? So I'm sure she's probably going to the cleaners, getting all the special stuff done. But this is a weird thing, though. I'm gonna come back to the cleaning bill. Her clothes per month, she wants $135,000 a month for her to get clothes. Okay. Telephone, cell phone bill, $20,000. Education. Now I'm assuming that's for her children.
Well, probably the school.
Yeah, $60,000
or the tutor that's coming in to do the school.
$60,000 a month for that, and I would assume with spousal support you would be giving child support. So I don't understand why.
That's two separate things.
No, so I'm saying if you have spousal support, if you have child support, if you're doing spousal support, that's for her.
Right.
There's also going to be child support, so I'm assuming education is going to be figured out in that. So I don't know what this education is for.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I'm not sure. I don't know.
That's what I'm saying. I would assume that child support was something
No. I think child support is for the necessities. So if you have like a private school that they go to,
that's what I'm saying.
You would actually have to define that. Like you need to pay 50% of the children's school.
That's what's happened. That's what I know. That's what I have seen on a lot of these situations like this. A lot of the women that get child support is because they have their children in private schools, so they have to pay those fees. So am I paying for your education? Okay, all right.
Maybe it's her education. Yeah,
so I'm paying $60,000 a month. Where are you going? Where do you go to school?
Well,
where?
Who knows? I don't know.
It takes $100,000 to get you a degree these days.
Well,
$60,000 a month.
Maybe she needs to donate money to the school, like how the other people. Who was it? God, who did it? The chick from
the illegal stuff the chick was doing.
Yeah,
she's not doing that.
Maybe she's doing that.
No, she's not.
Maybe she is.
She's not.
The chick from Full House.
She's not. Yeah, she's not.
Maybe she's doing that.
Because, that would make any sense. Because if she's doing that, then they got a paper trail that she's getting $60,000 a month from Dr.
I think
Dre.
she's just pulling stuff out of her rear.
Yeah, right. Okay, next thing. Entertainment. All right, y'all. Entertainment for what I just so we keep it real for us. Entertainment-wise, other than the bills and stuff, because entertainment for us during COVID is like watching movies and all that stuff. But if we were to have entertainment, I'll say on a max, because me and you don't ever get a chance to really get out and go nowhere because we got all the stuff going on with children and kids. But say even if me and you went out several times a month.
Okay, but this is what I told you, though. Go ahead and say the amount.
I'm about to say it.
Say the amount so I can get into it.
I would say, even if we went out several times, went out to eat 4 or 5 times a month.
Just take what we spent when we went on our little vacation.
Okay, so if we did
Hurricane Laura.
If we did that 4 times a month, that's $1,200.
Take each day, I guess, of what we spent. We were gone for like 2.5 days. So if we went out 4 times, that'd be probably about $500-$600.
Yeah.
Maybe
about
$700.
$100 something a day to do that. So yeah, I say maybe $700-800. I'm just gonna say about $800, right? So we say $800 for entertainment for us. All right. Her entertainment, and this is just solo entertainment, because I'm assuming if I'm paying spousal support, I'm just paying for you, not for you and your friends.
No, she'd have to be paying for her and the kids.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Okay.
Child support doesn't cover entertainment.
Okay, entertainment. So when you get spousal support, you are getting support for you to not change your child's lifestyle? And child support has nothing to do with the lifestyle?
No. Spousal support is, okay, so this is where it gets tricky.
That's what I'm trying to confirm.
This is where it gets tricky, okay? Yes. So I believe in California, if a person gets used to living a certain lifestyle and you've maintained their lifestyle for a significant portion of time, right, you cannot expect them to have to go down now to being absolutely broke and having to fend for themselves because you've got them accustomed to a certain lifestyle. So you are now obligated to help maintain that lifestyle, or at least a degree of it. So that's why usually these guys, even though they sign prenups, these women still get some kind of spousal support that seems astronomical because you've maintained this type of lifestyle. So for us, $800 of entertainment, as opposed to what they're doing, what we look at as entertainment, we're not copping no jets to go take a quick trip.
It's not
this
that
is
I
what
can't.
They do.
It's not that I can't understand the cost and the price. That's very understandable. What I am saying is she has children.
Yeah.
So what he's paying for is the lifestyle for her and her children, but also has child support, where there's also going to be things that are going to be factored in there to add on top of the expenses she's getting just for herself.
Right. Absolutely.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get that.
So this is not all she's getting, and this is child support included in this price.
Right.
So what I'm saying is that's $2 million a month, $24 million a year.
Right.
Okay, which is, and compared to probably how she was living, is not as crazy.
She might not. This is the thing. Unless she can prove that this is the amount of money that they were spending in a month.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah.
She's not gonna get this.
Yeah. No. I'm just saying.
But you figure they're gonna highball it. They're obviously gonna go in and highball it in the hopes that they get probably half of what they're asking for. So she's high. I'm guaranteeing she's highballing everything, because like you said, in this COVID era, really, what are you doing? Everything is with stipulations. So even if you have a private jet, where you're going, you might still need to be quarantined for like 2 weeks.
This is what's crazy to me. Like, okay, mortgage, $100,000 a month.
Okay. I don't know how much the house is worth.
A mortgage.
I don't know how much the house is worth.
Okay. All right. I'm just gonna give you an idea of the mortgage breakdown, because I thought you might have already known this because we talked about it when we were talking about looking at dream houses.
I get it. So, I understand that, you have $1 million home and your
how
mortgage.
Much you think her house? How much you think Dr. Dre's house might be?
But this is the thing. They're fighting for houses too, right? It's in there that they're still trying to see who's going to get what. Like, the divorce is still trying to go through. So she has to go out and buy another house. In the meantime, in between time, like, who's saying,
where
like, if
are
these
you
are
staying is what I'm trying.
I don't know where they at.
Mortgage though.
Shoot. Maybe she's saying mortgage, but it might be rent, and she's just trying to rent out one of these things. I don't know. It's crazy. It is absolutely crazy.
$100,000 a month.
Yo, I'm saying it is crazy. I believe she is trying to bleed him dry. Absolutely.
$100,000 a month. You living in Buckingham Palace, fam.
Probably not.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Maybe she's trying to pay mortgages for multiple houses.
That's $1.2 million a year. I can understand some like, yo, if you have a mortgage and say you have a
maybe she has a house
say
she's
you
trying
have
to
a
buy for
two-
1.2 million.
Okay, she may be having a house that she wants to buy for $1.2 million.
So she's saying 12 months.
So this is
spousal
how
support. I need 100,000 so
No.
that I can pay this mortgage.
No, that ain't even how it works. You just come down with 20% of how much the fucking house costs. The house costs you
But she
$1.2
needs
million.
to make sure
You
this
got
spouse,
20%.
like she don't know how. Okay, we don't know how long the divorce is gonna go on, right? Divorce in California can go on for like 4, 5, 10 years. So this spousal support is needed. It needs to be clarified. She's probably
I'm not saying that
to,
it's not needed. I am breaking down the numbers right now. That's what we're talking about. Because this is what I'm saying is very unrealistic.
Oh, absolutely.
$100,000 a month is very unrealistic in regards to you purchasing a home. If she wanted to go buy a home, she can
with
go
you.
buy a home.
I'm with you.
Like half the time, if she's on it, Dre's probably on the majority of the houses anyways. Like these are houses that he owns. They own them together, whatever.
They have a prenup, so I'm going to assume he purchased everything and it's in his name.
So if that's the case, she's probably eligible for a first-time homeowner's purchase right now. At 3.5%,
what did she do?
3.5%, she can purchase her house. 3.5% of $1 million home. Basically, she has that. If she has $100,000, she has the percentage to drop the 3.5% on the house, and then she has a mortgage after that. And the mortgage that she has after that is probably going to be anywhere between $7,000 to $10,000 a month, depending on her what you call it. No,
Well,
my bad,
she's
not
also, if
10,000,
you think about it, right?
No, that might be right.
They've been married for 24 years.
Right.
That's a hefty amount of time. So in that time.
Yeah, that's right. It's probably about $7,000 to $8,000 a month after just $1 million home. After she's already paid the down payment, the payment per month is $7,000 to $8 million.
She's also trying to make her pockets fat. She's not trying to just live month to month. Like she wants to make sure that she's gonna have money left over.
Man, I'm just trying to. All I'm saying is, this is the part that is foul to the point where it's like, okay, we can make this situation nice and where it's feasible, where it works, where you don't have to sit here and try to be extra with it. 100,000, dude. $100,000 a month for mortgage is crazy, and the fact that you got all this money, $135,000 for clothes, and you got the kids' clothes, you got that, and yet my laundry and cleaning is only $10,000. The cheapest thing on her list is cleaning. Well, I ain't worried about that part. Yeah, $10,000 ain't nothing. Yeah, you don't want to get no maid. You don't want to get no maids. You don't want to have all of.
Maybe because she just look at how much her stuff is to buy clothes. So maybe
if you got
she just throws the shit away.
Bruh, if you got $100,000 house and you ain't got no maid, you about to be. I mean, $100,000 a month mortgage. Boy, your house, you gonna need a lot of cleaning. That $10,000 ain't gonna cut it. Man. Anyways, laundry included. Come on. So, yo, hey, ladies, fellas, because there's been some fellas I've seen out here doing this too. You know, the women like, I think, what's her name?
So she don't do nothing. It don't look like she does anything. She was
Wendy Williams. That's what.
She was married to an NBA player before Dre. So, I mean, she been taking care of her whole adulthood. Look like. So she trying to make sure her pockets get fat, and she got ends on ends on ends. we gonna get there one day to where we making money like that, and then we'll see how much these pockets bleed and what it costs. I don't believe $100,000 for a mortgage. I mean, 10 grand for laundry. Like, come on, y'all.
Bro, you can have $20,000 a month on a mortgage, and all right, it's just
one of those things where I'm kind of like, the waste.
Just the numbers, though. Just listen to the numbers. I'm just trying to get this to sear in your brain. And everybody that's listening, $1 million house, you get your first-time homeowners, you get the $1 million, and you pay your 3.5% to get the house. So now I don't even have my calculator, but anyways, that's nowhere near $100,000 down. 3.5% of $1 million is nowhere near that.
$100,000 a month.
Listen. Then from there, after that, you got your closing costs and all that. So she's still probably sitting on about $80,000, if not 70-some thousand that she still has. She's probably still got like 70 or 60-some $1,000. Now you have to pay on the mortgage. Now everybody knows there's a 30-year mortgage, there's a 15-year mortgage. If you pay $8,000, even if she paid $10,000 a month, that is $1,200 a year. I mean, not $1,200, $120,000 a year. She would have that house paid for in 10 years. Actually, less than that, like 9 years, which is faster than the 15-year fixed mortgage. Most people have 30-year fixed mortgages out here now. That's faster than the 15 years. So all she really has to pay is like $7,000 to $8,000 a month.
She probably don't even know that.
You got an extra freaking $92,000.
She probably don't even know that because she's been taking care of her whole time. So she pulling these numbers,
and this is
like she don't probably know anything.
This is for the people, man. It is very possible to be out here and live in these kind of homes and own this type of stuff if you just understand the numbers. You have to do what you got to do to get that kind of income. But if you are at the position where you're making, $40,000 a month, something like that, I think that $40,000 a month, I think it turns out to be like 400 or some thousand a year, 300 some thousand. I don't know the exact number, but right around $40,000 a month.
It's almost $500,000 a year.
Yeah, you making that, bruh. You can afford to get a mortgage, huh?
The math skills, y'all.
I'm just doing off the top of my head. I said it's about $400-some thousand. That's right. I ain't off like that. $40,000 a year. That's about $400-some thousand a year.
480.
Yeah, I'm not off. So yeah, but anyways, y'all. Yeah, I'm just saying.
Get $1 million home. Pay
everybody
that
just think about it. Everybody ain't gotta have $1 million home, $500,000 house. Do the same kind of math. Break it down. But it's $4,000 or $5,000 a month that you gotta pay. You know what I'm saying? Actually, not even that. More like $3,000 a month.
So let me ask you this. If Dre does have the $1 billion liquid, should he pay her?
Yeah, I would. If you got $1 billion a month. I mean, not a month. If you had $1 billion liquid cash, I'd be like, look, I'm going to go ahead and cut you this and we done.
So I would get Adios. The $2 million a month. I'd get the $2 million a month. And whatever I wanted in the divorce?
For X amount of years. What? How many years is that? How many years she trying to do it for?
Well, the spousal support, I don't know. Usually, okay, so it's temporary spousal support. So this is what she's asking for until the divorce is finalized. During that divorce, she can ask for more or less. they can say this for this many years, he's going to support her for 10 years, 20 years, 10 years, 5 years, 15 years, whatever.
Right.
They'll negotiate that.
And
then it'll decrease slowly over time or whatever the case may be.
Maybe 5 years. Do that for like 5 years. You know what I'm saying? Because you're looking at
it's $24 million
that'll be over
a year.
That'll
for
be
5
over
years.
100 something. 100 something, 100 plus thousand. 100 plus million. Over about 5 year span. I'll do that.
That's just spousal support. That's not including child support.
Child support ain't gonna be no $2 million a month.
If you leave it up to this lady, it looks like she might get that.
Nah, I would. I mean, look, it'll be.
I think one of the kids. Her kid. I don't know the age. One said 19.
Yeah. I don't know. Like I said,
so
I
unless
wouldn't.
they're in school.
I wouldn't. I don't know, man. I maybe I give it like $2.5 million overall. Maybe that. You know what I mean? And just be done. Or give them one lump sum. Like, hey, yo, man. Boom. That's what you get. That's it. No more, no less. I give you, $100 million. You got that. And then the kids get the the kids get the child support. That's it. Be done. Or $50 million and then be done.
Man.
What?
I would get that money though, right?
What?
I get that money.
Well,
you would give me the $2 million?
Oh, now you in the middle now. Now it's you get the money. I
just want to know. I want it on record.
That you gonna get the money? I got you. I got you, man. I'll make sure you get the money.
I'm surprised you didn't switch it up on you.
Nah. I got you, man. Like I said, you win the lottery, it's our money. So it's all good, man. Either way, we good.
Yeah, we are. Yeah, all right, y'all. That's about to be it.
Yeah, man.
Before we go, don't forget, you can get us on Spotify, Pocket Casts, Google Podcasts, Breakers, Radio Public, and Apple Podcasts now, officially.
Yes, sir.
You can also check us out on YouTube. Hit us up with any questions or promotions and product promotions on WeRandomLive@gmail.com. You know the social media spill. Find us, follow us, like us, do all of that. And with YouTube, hit the bell. Go ahead, subscribe, get the notifications, and hit that like button and go ahead and share us. Mahalo for listening, supporting. We love y'all. We out. Aloha.
Izzo, I just need another one.